Big race coming up where we get to see one of the best horses in the world on track again in Mishriff. But first, how are you?
Oh, I'm better for speaking to you, Ken. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've had a few weeks apart, so it's nice to catch up. And no better way to catch up about this race because, well, we've got a glittering lineup for you to look forward to tomorrow. And you mentioned, well, Mishriff, obviously, he's a globetrotter, international superstar, but I don't think he's even one of the best in the field. As you can see on there, it's a small field. There isn't a huge amount of runners, only the 6. But yes, on ratings, there are horses above him in there. We'll start with Westover, who's a 3-year-old, and he's a Irish Derby winner. That was his last victory. We'll see it on screen here. He blew this field apart, Ken. It was only a couple of moments where Colin Keane, his jockey, had to get really busy and active on him, and then he put distance between him and the rest of the field. Now, this form hasn't really stacked up massively. The horse that was second, because the deal's been beaten since, but 3-year-olds, they have a really good record in the King George. Last year, Aria, the English Derby winner, won the race and beat Mishriff, and Westover looks like a horse who's really improving. And he's got a lot of the credentials you look for a race like this. But what's made this race really interesting is that we've got a filly in here. And Emily Upjohn is the one that I'm very excited to see. She was meant to run in the Irish Oaks last week. And when I was on with Brittany, I explained that her travel plans were disrupted. So instead, they've rerouted and they've come here. We can see on screen when she came second in the English version of the Oaks. She was really unlucky. She came home late with a massive run. But she's trained by the master in John Golston and his son, Thady. He'll be ridden by Frankie Dettori after all the sabbatical nonsense. They're back together. And Emily Upjohn, look, she's got a long way to go to even resemble the great Enable. But Enable won this race as a 3-year-old, getting all the weight from the elders and the boys. So that's why I think Emily Upjohn has got a lot in her favour. And obviously, Enable went on to win the Breeders' Cup Turf. And this is, as you said, a race, a part of the Challenge Series. If you win this, you get an automatic entry into the Breeders' Cup Turf at Keeneland at the end of the year. And Broome, who's in this race, was second in that behind Yabir last year. So lots of links back to the Breeders' Cup. But the final horse that I want to mention that might be a bit of a surprise for you guys to see in this field is the ARC winner, Toccato Tasso. Now, you'll remember him causing a huge shock, winning at massive odds for the Germans, running down late on, beating Tanawa, another Breeders' Cup hero, and beating all the contenders that we were talking about. I remember Scott and I discussing this live. I don't think we even mentioned him, but we've got to take him seriously. He's back for another year. They're aiming for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe again. He's won his prep race into this, but he won't have his customary soft ground. We've had an Indian summer here in the UK. It's been so warm. We'll have faster ground, probably more akin to what we might get at Keeneland at the end of the year. And look, I'd love to hope that one of these horses, if they were to win, they might take up that entry in the Breeders' Cup come the end of the season. I'll be doing my best, and I promise you this, Ken, to track down those owners and those trainers and find out if they'll be making the journey over to Keeneland if they are to win this race. But that's what we've got to set up and look forward to. But I'm keeping my faith in the filly, Emily Upjohn.
All right, and I'm keeping my faith in Mishriff, who has done nothing but prove himself time and time again. I love that horse. I think getting back on the turf course, he proved it last time out. He's back, and he's ready to rock. It's going to be a great race coming up, and there's a whole lot at stake. First off, you can go to tvg.com, and you can download the free past performances for this race and take a look at exactly what is at stake for the runners here. It's all about the automatic entry into the Breeders' Cup. The fees are paid, $10,000 award, $40,000 travel allowance. That's all what's coming up in the race. It's race number 4 on the card at Ascot coming up on Saturday. Jess Stafford, always an absolute